Understanding your child's heart. Recognizing and supporting them through stress. Hello, dear parents. Today, we're going to talk about a very important topic on our parenting journey. How to recognize when our beloved children are dealing with stress. Unlike us adults, young children often don't know how to express this complex feeling in words. Therefore, understanding the signs will help parents be there and support their children at the right time. In today's chat, we'll go over the main signs that show your child is experiencing stress. These can manifest physically, through their behavior, and even in their emotions. Just as importantly, we'll explore the common causes of stress in children, so we can help them face and overcome it. The signs that show a child is stressed. So, how can we read the signals that our children sometimes can't verbalize? Let's explore the signs of stress in children together. Everyone feels stressed sometimes, right? Adults might recognize it immediately through a headache, a racing heart, or a general sense of fear and discomfort. But it's different for young children. They often lack the vocabulary and self-awareness to understand and describe what's happening inside them. However, just like adults, stress is how a child's young body and mind react to difficulties and pressures in life. It's like an alarm bell. These signs can be very diverse, showing up physically, behaviorally, and emotionally. Let's look at each group of signs more closely. Physical signs of stress. First, let's pay attention to changes in your child's body. These are often the easiest signs to notice because the body doesn't lie. Have you noticed your child having more trouble sleeping? Even if they seem tired after a long day, they might toss and turn, unable to fall asleep, or wake up frequently during the night. Disrupted sleep is a very common sign when a child's mind is troubled. Their eating habits might also change suddenly. Your child might eat significantly less than usual, become picky, or lose interest even in favorite foods. Conversely, some children turn to food for comfort, leading them to eat unusually more. Both extremes are worth paying attention to. Nightmares and bedwetting, especially in children who were previously dry at night, can also become more frequent when a child is stressed. These are involuntary physical responses when the nervous system is overloaded. Additionally, your child might complain about vague headaches or stomachaches with no clear physical cause. A doctor's visit might not reveal any specific illness, especially for school-aged children. Frequent trips to the nurse's office complaining of these pains could be a way of avoiding pressure or expressing internal discomfort they can't articulate. Behavioral signs of stress. It's not just the body that speaks up. A child's behavior also changes noticeably under stress. These changes might confuse or even frustrate parents. But remember, they could be your child's call for help. Let's see if you observe any of these. Your child might become more irritable, easily angered, and less cooperative with family rules. Things they used to do willingly might now be met with resistance or whining. Activities they used to love, like playing sports, drawing, or seeing friends, might suddenly lose their appeal. Your child might withdraw, preferring to stay home, perhaps just lying in bed or staring at a screen. For older children, stress can manifest as difficulty completing homework or reluctance to help with chores. Reduced concentration and feelings of being overwhelmed can make it hard for them to fulfill their responsibilities. Interestingly, but also noteworthy, children might regress to behaviors from a younger age, things they seem to have outgrown. For example, thumb sucking might reappear, or they might ask for a bottle long after weaning, or start using baby talk. This is an unconscious coping mechanism, returning to familiar behaviors from a safer time to seek comfort. Anxious habits like nose picking, nail biting, hair pulling, or teeth grinding might appear or become more frequent. These repetitive actions help children release some internal tension. In some older children, stress can even lead to aggressive behavior, picking fights with peers, or even bullying weaker children. Sometimes, internal anger and helplessness are expressed through these negative outward actions. And of course, a very clear sign in school-aged children is a noticeable decline in academic performance. Falling grades, lack of focus in class, or forgetting assignments can all be consequences of a mind preoccupied with stress. Emotional signs of stress. Finally, but just as importantly, are the emotional changes. A child's emotions are the clearest mirror reflecting their internal state of stress. Let's listen to your child's heart through these expressions. Have you noticed your child becoming more moody? Their mood might swing quickly, happy and laughing one moment, then irritable, upset, or crying the next for no apparent reason. This emotional instability shows they're having trouble regulating their inner world. Older children might express more anger, irritability, and argumentativeness with parents or friends. It might seem like everything annoys them. Some children under stress become clingier to parents, unwilling to be separated, and fearful of trying new things or meeting new people. The need for safety and reassurance increases when they feel insecure. Your child might have difficulty controlling their emotions, crying more easily over small things, and generally seeming more sensitive than usual. Their ability to tolerate frustration and cope with disappointment decreases significantly. Feelings of anxiety and nervousness may also become more persistent when a child is stressed. They might repeatedly ask questions about uncertain things, worry about the future, or develop unfounded fears. Understanding the causes of stress in children. Once you've noticed these unusual signs in your child, every parent naturally wants to do everything possible to help them feel better immediately. But wait, first, we need to calmly try to understand the root of the problem. What is actually causing your child's stress? Identifying the cause is a crucial step so we can help our children face and overcome stress effectively. Because different causes require different approaches and support. Many factors can cause stress in children, ranging from small daily life changes to major events. Let's look at some common causes. An overloaded daily schedule could be the culprit. Sometimes we want our children to participate in many extracurricular activities and learn many skills. But we forget they need enough downtime and free play to recharge and process information. Too much pressure and expectation can also leave them feeling tired and stressed. Academic pressure at school, worries about grades, exams, or the pressure to fit in and be accepted by peers are very common causes. Especially for school-aged children. For younger children, separation from parents, even just for starting preschool, can cause strong separation anxiety. The feeling of being abandoned or unsafe without familiar warmth is a major source of stress. Financial difficulties in the family, or parents experiencing work-related stress, even if attempts are made to hide it, can be sensed by children, who are very perceptive. This implicitly puts pressure on the child. Children might also worry about the health or happiness of family members. For instance, if a grandparent is sick or if parents argue frequently. Major family events like parental divorce or separation, or the sudden death of a loved one, are undoubtedly significant psychological shocks that cause prolonged sadness and stress for children. Moving house, changing schools, having to adapt to a completely new environment, new friends, and new teachers is also not easy and can make children feel lost and anxious. Sometimes, difficult living conditions like unstable or unsafe housing, such as living in a rough neighborhood or experiencing homelessness, are sources of constant stress. The natural physical changes during puberty, the emergence of secondary sexual characteristics, and psychophysiological changes can also make adolescents feel confused, self-conscious, and pressured. Problems in peer relationships are also a significant source of stress. Arguments, misunderstandings, pressure to conform, or sadly, being bullied or excluded at school can cause deep hurt and stress. Finally, let's not forget that children today are exposed to information very early. They can also feel anxious and scared about major negative world events like wars, natural disasters, or pandemics that they hear about through news, social media, or adult conversations. As you can see, parents, many causes of stress stem from children having to navigate difficult situations, changes, or external pressures. But besides that, another important thing to remember is that the stress of those around them, especially parents, can unconsciously spread to the child. Children are like sponges.